Hello, dear one. Welcome to my channel, Lucille Williams with Christian Talk. Do you ever feel like what you are doing doesn't matter? Do you ever feel like you're doing the right thing over and over and over, but it doesn't seem to matter? It doesn't seem to make a difference. It doesn't seem to change your life. It just doesn't seem to do anything. Well, I can totally understand with feeling that way. Sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing what God's calling me to do over and over and over. And sometimes I feel like I'm not seeing results like I would hope I would see. Do you ever feel that way? You're just doing all you can and you're just not getting the notice that you thought you would get when you did a certain thing at your job. Or you're at a church and you're doing some kind of program and the people you thought that were going to be there didn't show up. I mean, sometimes we look at different things than what God looks at. But sometimes what God is looking at is just whether or not we are faithful. God is looking for faithful people. People who will follow through with their calling, who won't give up midway, who will stay the course. Because sometimes we don't know what God's going to do with the seeds that we're throwing out there. We just have to keep throwing the seeds. It's our job to keep throwing the seeds and let God do what He is going to do. And don't forget, in Galatians 6:9, it says, "Do not lose heart at doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up." Sometimes we don't know how close we are to something great that God's going to do. And we're ready to throw in the towel and say, I've just done all I can and I'm just done. I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe your marriage is just hanging on by a thread and you feel like you're doing everything you can to make it better and you just keep trying to be the best wife or the best husband that you can be, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. Or maybe you just keep doing the job you're doing and you know you're supposed to be there and it just doesn't seem like anyone cares about the job you're doing. Or maybe you're doing some kind of ministry for the Lord and you keep doing things over and over and you're being faithful, but you don't feel like you see any fruit. God determines what He's going to do with what we put out there. It's not our job to judge whether or not it's good enough. It's not our job to decide if it's enough fruit. Maybe all we were supposed to do was encourage one person that day, and something we did encouraged one person. Maybe you thought it was going to be a big to-do, but it just ended up reaching one person. That's good enough. That's good enough in God's eyes. Sometimes maybe God's just trying to change us. He's trying to mold us into the people He wants us to be. He wants you to be that person that He can use that's moldable for Him. And we don't think it's good enough because we don't feel like we're seeing results. Let God mold you into the person that He wants to mold you in. I don't know what God's doing, but I do know God always rewards our faithfulness. Always. God is looking around for those who He can trust, who love Him, who their hearts are for God, and He's looking for the faithful. Sometimes it's not our qualifications that qualify us. It's just being faithful. So remember, just keep doing what you need to do. If it's a rocky marriage, hang in there and give it your all and keep being the husband or wife. Oh, excuse me, I just choked. Keep being the husband or wife that you just need to be and just keep doing it over and over and over. Keep doing the work for the Lord that you need to do until something happens where you feel like, or you may never see it. You may never see it on this side, and you may find out when you get to heaven all that you did. So just stay faithful, my friend. Just stay faithful. God will reward your faithfulness. He always does. So hit like, hit subscribe, and check out my book, From Me to We. Until next time, always choose love, because love never fails.